Hey, I want to thank everybody to the Inquisitive Mind of Lewis T's breakdown, review, my take or whatever on Avengers Endgame. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want the movie spoiled, like Lee Hustle or R.U. Taylor, whatever you want to call them, spoiled it for me on Facebook. You have your time right now, to leave. So right now, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I know that it's been hard. I had to wait in a virtual line for over an hour to get tickets on Fandango for the point. So this is your warning. Get out now. Give you about 20 more seconds, and we're gonna do kind of like maybe like some of the top 10 moments. Do it. Some of the stuff I liked, some of the stuff I didn't like, but just on some of the just top 10 moments of the movie. So you have now been warned. Just want to thank everybody. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the little button down there. And if you're watching this on Facebook, go to YouTube. That's where the most of the content is going to be at on YouTube. So type in YouTube, type in IMoLT to get the videos. We're going to be doing, used to be podcasts every 2 weeks, but we're going to try to start coming out with a podcast every week, for the foreseeable future. And some good stuff. We're all over the place. And if you haven't already, obviously, if you're watching this, you're in the comic book movies. We got 2 great podcasts talking about, one, just talk about some of the, from 2018, just talking about a recap of some of the movies. And then later on, I think it's episode like 4, we talk about all the movies. There's a ton of movies that's already came out and still coming in 2019. So make sure you check out those videos. There's some great stuff. So let's get right into it. Number 1 or 10, however you want to look at it, the trailers. Just starting even before the movie. A lot of the things that was in trailers, it was not in the movie. Black Widow doing the whole gun training thing, that didn't make the movie. Most of the trailer, especially the first 2 trailers, they were actually from the first 10-15 minutes of the movie. Like, the movie starts out with the Hawkeye scene from the trailer, kind of pre-snap, and from there it's like a roller coaster, and it gets right into it. And yeah, I gotta really rewatch the trailer. I know some things they omitted was Pepper Potts. She was part of they omitted her from when Tony Stark first landed. And, they didn't want to show Professor Hulk or Thor. There was a lot of stuff with that they didn't want to spoil for you. And there's a couple things with Captain Marvel, finding the pager, Nick Fury's pager. None of that stuff actually made the final cut of the movie, which was a 3-hour movie. So that stuff, most people seen the trailer. We didn't really need it. There was neither here nor there. So I see exactly why that didn't make it. Another thing in the movie that I thought was great, was when Captain America was in the elevator. It was very reminiscent of Winter Soldier. Right before the Hydra, I really thought it was going to go down in the elevator again, but it didn't. But it was very, a head nod to when in the comics, Steve Rogers, or Captain America, was a secret Hydra. He was really with Hydra the whole time. So in the elevator, he does like Hail Hydra, and so that was also from the Secret Empire story. I actually haven't read this yet. You're going to notice this theme probably throughout this, but number 2, number 10, or whatever. That was a great scene in the movie. Captain America, he's doing, he yells to him, Hail Hydra, and get the stone. And another part, number 3, number 7, 8. However you want to look at it. I'm just going to go 1 through 10. And with unworthy Thor, or Thor thinking that he was unworthy. He got fat. He blamed himself for the snap, not killing Thanos. So it's kind of, with the letting himself go, feeling that he was unworthy. You know, a couple of like they did the whole series Unworthy Thor. Um, you know, and I thought that was very reminiscent of that. You know, and then until he actually called for Mjolnir when he went back in time, and he found out that he was actually still worthy, and that was a whole change on him because he was really feeling that he was unworthy to be the god of thunder, and that's kind of what led him to, you know, the last 5 years of getting fat, the beard, all that was very nods to the whole unworthy Thor storyline, which is a little bit different, well, a lot different from the comics, but I still think, you know, in the movies, they don't really follow the comics, but they kind of like, they do like a head nod, you know, for the people who read the comics. And I'm not a big comic reader, but there's some stuff I'm aware of, so I'm a little bit more than a knob, but not really, I guess, full blown nerd. Um, Number four, I would say Black Widow's death. I didn't, you know, all the things I follow, definitely did not see that coming. One of the things I didn't get spoiled for me by Lee Hustle. He's on some of my old videos, but yeah, he really did post a full spoiler. Kind of didn't mess it up for me, but it was, anyway. But I wasn't really expecting Black Widow's death. She's one of the people that you felt was safe. She has an upcoming movie coming out, you know, but I'm guessing now that's going to be a flashback movie. I thought it was going to be kind of, you know, and this is one of the hip hop covers too. I think this was Missy Elliott. This is one of the things that got me kind of back in the comics. Is when the Marvel did the variants. Speaking of hip hop and Marvel, make sure you check out my people, Hip Hop Marvels. They're going to be they're reinvigorating their podcast. I might be on there, might not, but still shout them out. Look them up on Instagram. They're going to be on streaming platforms for podcasts. Hip Hop Marvels, just Google them. But yeah, like did not see her death coming. I like when she was doing the fight with Hawkeye, I kind of figured it was going to be her because I knew there was a scene with Hawkeye and the arrow from the trailer that we hadn't seen yet. So I had a good thought or inkling when they were fighting that it was going to be her. But until then, I had no idea that she was going to be one of the people that died and didn't come back, especially with her movie. So I'm kind of more excited about her movie because I feel like we're going to get to see Budapest. That was you know, they keep referencing that. I mean, I think Nick Fury referenced it, Hawkeye, Black Widow. So I'm really excited. That's going to be one of the first Phase 4 movies is the Black Widow solo movie. So now, unless something happens, there's definitely going to be a prequel of sorts. So we go back and see that. So speaking of Phase 4 and the movies, you know, there's also going to be, you know, not my number five, the Disney Plus shows. So Vision and Scarlet Witch, they have a show coming out on the new Disney Plus. Vision did not come back in the Endgame movie. He did not make it. So I'm pretty sure maybe Sherry did like some kind of backup or something for him. But also, you know, but that's one of the shows they got lined up for the Disney Plus streaming service. Also, there's going to be a Hawkeye movie. It's going to be him and I think Kate Bishop, not his daughter. It's, you know, it's just him and another young Hawkeye. So I don't know if they're going to do his daughter and make her Kate Bishop. For those who don't know, it's supposed to be heavily based on the storyline Fractions. My book's a little dinged up, but I haven't finished reading this, but everybody really talks very highly of it. I read a couple, like the first chapter of it. It's like Hawkeye living in an apartment building, training young Hawkeye, female Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. It's another one of the hip hop variants is based on CL Smooth and CL Smooth, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, but Hawkeye. So that's going to be interesting on the Disney Plus service. And then there's one other one I'm going to talk about. I'm going to circle back around to the Disney Plus. Also the Loki. So now, speaking of Loki, in the movie, he didn't get killed. He got the Tesseract and then he disappeared. So now I'm wondering if the movie's gonna follow that Loki, that because that's also supposed to be like a prequel to what I was believed. Because Marvel hasn't officially announced anything. This is all from other reports, but it's supposed to be like a young Loki. But now, is it going to be young Loki from the original movies, or is it going to be based on the Loki that we just saw in Endgame? We don't know. So I think around after Spider-Man drop, we're going to get that Phase 4 announcement. All right, and then speaking of, so Captain America being worthy, this is one of the parts of the movie. I'll say my least favorite parts of the movie. Captain America wielding the hammer. We got a tease of that in Ultron. He kind of moved it. Thor looked concerned. He was very happy for him in Endgame when he was wielding it, but I think if he would have just did one courageous act with the hammer and was able to do it, that would have been cool. But him, the way he was using it, first time he actually called lightning. I wasn't a fan of that. That for some reason, I even told my friend in the movie, I was like, I'm not feeling that. But worthy Captain America, unworthy Thor. Um, that was probably my least favorite. Love the movie, but that was one of my least favorite things in the movie. Speaking of Captain America, we got old Cap, and then we got at the end of the movie and him giving his relinquishing his title to Falcon, which happened recently in the comics. I think he's back to Falcon now, but we got that. This is based on the Outcast cover as well, or movie. I don't know if this is I can't remember. I know it's Outcast. I don't know if it was one of the albums or just one of the promos, but Falcon did become Captain America in the comics. Bucky also before Falcon became Captain America, but they kind of gave a head nod to that. And Bucky and Falcon have a TV show also coming on the Disney Plus streaming service. So I wonder if that's going to be more of a Captain America inspired story. I guess it would have to be now. So just maybe about his journey becoming Captain America. Or if it doesn't, I don't really know how I feel about Falcon being Captain America. I don't hate Falcon as much as other people, but I'm definitely not. I think I like the War Machine character between like the secondary characters. Falcon's not one of my favorite. I like Anthony Mackie, but that just I don't know. I don't like I said. Don't hate it. Don't love it. I'm waiting to see. I'm curious to see what the TV show is going to be about. I do like the Bucky character, Winter Soldier. So far, it's been pretty good. So number 8, a big scene. I haven't seen a lot of one of the few things I haven't seen a lot of people talk about. I mean, they talk about the scene, but not the reference to the comics is when all the women are there as Captain Marvel, Valkyrie, the Dora Milaje, Scarlet Witch. That's to me that's a reference to A Force, like the all women's Avengers. Charlemagne so far is the only one that's made mention of A Force. Another one of the hip hop variants. This was based on Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton, A Force. So Captain Marvel, Medusa, Gamora. So most of these people wasn't in the movie. But it was still like their version of A Force, all women's Avengers team. I heard mixed reviews so far on that scene, but I loved it because it made me so when they showed them all on the screen, made me think of A Force, Captain Marvel, Valkyrie, Scarlet Witch, and they did the thing. So I mean, I think they have a strong enough women's cast to do a all women role movie as long as the story's good. But the actresses are good. So Wasp was another good one. So definitely enjoyed. That was one of my favorite moments in the movie. And then ending it off, towards the end of the movie, they had the as Guardians of the Galaxy or Guardians of the Galaxy with Thor being a part of it. I think that makes me really excited for. I was already since they announced James Gunn is coming back for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That's already had me super excited, but the fact Thor is going to be a potential cast, I think probably the story with Gamora, trying to get her back and get her kind of up to speed from to the Gamora that they lost, getting her back in the fold is probably going to be hopefully not a huge storyline, but one of the storylines in the movie. Um, but I'm really hyped. I think that the Thor and the Guardians have a really good chemistry, and that should be having Thor and James Gunn hand should make for an interesting story. And then number 10, the big thing is I would say Iron Man sacrificing himself, snapping. The he used the gauntlet, the Iron Man gauntlet, to snap, and he being that he's a human, he couldn't survive, and that I mean, that you gotta, he's the one who started this whole trend of the MCU movies, and we all kind of anybody that was really in the know knew either him and or Captain America was going to die. Being that Captain America has been very vocal about his contract, or I can't even, Chris Evans, Human Torch. So a lot of people assumed it would be him, but the fact they actually went and killed their main guy, that was still kind of shocking, even though we knew of the possibility. Um, so, so yeah, that's it. I mean, and if you haven't seen it, hopefully, if you watched this, you have seen it. I plan on seeing it again, just to really get some of these things concrete and just kind of just watch it, kind of knowing what's going on. Uh, I really like some of the other. They had the last Stan Lee cameo, driving by when they went in the past in the 70s. They had the Audis in there. The Audis, that was pretty dope. Definitely, Marvel definitely gets some of the best car sponsors. Usually Audi, Acura. I think for the Black Panther movie, no, actually I'm pretty sure for the Black Panther movie it was Lexus. So, nothing but top end cars for Marvel. And shout out to Chris Battle. He just got him an Audi. He's like an Avenger. But yeah, that's it. 10 and more, some of our top 10, moments from Endgame. I might do a Phase 4 video like this, so not like a full podcast, just something, less than 20. But my next something like this, because I got a lot of podcasts lined up, but nothing comic or really nerdy. Got some stuff talking about life after sports, viral virus, what is it called? People just trying to go viral. Got some great guests, so like I said, going to be trying to drop those every 2 weeks. But not every 2 weeks, every week. But still, might be dropping little videos like this. Definitely want to put together like a potential Phase 4 video, a little bit more in depth on the movie side. Kind of touched on it with Black Widow and the Disney Plus. But that's it. Make sure you hit subscribe. Thank you. We are over 100 subscribers. And if you haven't already, make sure you go type in IMoLT in YouTube. Hit subscribe. If you're watching this video, I know there's a lot of Avengers videos out there, so I appreciate, especially if you're making this far. Thank you so much. Comment below. I know a lot of people like to text me, message me, but hey, let's have a conversation here with everybody. So comment, subscribe, everything below. Thank you. Inquisitive Mind of Lewis T. Avengers Endgame. Salute.